Snakes are one of the animals that are present in most of the world's ecosystems. But despite the fact that there are a large number of species on the planet, the ones you will see in this video have the characteristic of being spooky. Giant snakes hidden in the jungles, in the caves of Africa, or with disturbing characteristics in this case, we will look at a number of snakes that you hardly know, and that to the amazement of many, were seen in real life and gave origin to the most terrifying legends. Number 5. Grootslang. Richtersveld National Park is located in the middle of South Africa, in an area full of bushes and low vegetation. It is famous for having a number of labyrinths of unexplored caverns, but more for having a giant snake inside. It is known as Grootslang, whose English translation is Great Snake. Legend says that this is a spiritual guardian responsible for keeping the greedy away from the treasure of the caves of Richtersveld. It is about 54 feet long and its scales are black. Some versions say that half of its body is shaped like an elephant and the other half like a snake. But others claim that it is simply a gigantic snake. Today, this snake is feared among the natives of South Africa. It is rumored that it moves through the cave system of the national park, since these have the reputation of being quite deep, capable of reaching beyond where man has ever reached. Number 4. Incan Wamba. In the province of KwaZulu-Natal, in Howick Falls, South Africa, cave paintings were found in which there was evidence that the tribes in the area feared a ferocious giant snake with a horse's head called Incan Wamba. Most interestingly, the myth did not die with the Aborigines, but still survives today. Even in 1996, a local newspaper offered a fairly high reward to anyone who could provide a photograph of the mysterious snake. Numerous researchers have come to the conclusion that the Incan Wamba is actually a species of eel that grew larger than normal, but locals are adamant that it is a totally different and wild monster. Number 3. Crowing Crested Cobra. Crowing Crested Cobra is a mysterious variety of snake, native to East and Central Africa. Actually, little is known about it, only that it is extremely dangerous and strange. The most remarkable thing about this snake is that the male develops a red crest and 2 gizzards of the same color under the head, which makes it similar to a rooster. It has a color of polished wood or a grayish black, making it easier for them to camouflage themselves. According to the stories, this rare species emits a sound similar to that of a bird to scare away its enemies. In addition, it possesses an incredibly toxic poison, which in a couple of hours could kill an adult man. In May 1959, John Knott accidentally ran over a 6-foot black snake in his Land Rover in the Kariba Lake area of Zimbabwe. The most amazing thing about this is that the snake had a crest on its head similar to this legendary cobra. Number 2. Hoop Snake. The snake that we will see next has a quite particular attack mode. It is known as the hoop snake, and most of the sightings come from Minnesota, Wisconsin, and some parts of Canada. Eyewitnesses claim that the hoop snake chases its prey by biting its tail and moving as it forms a circle, like a wheel. And when it is close enough to the victim, it releases its grip and slaps with its deadly sting. According to the witnesses who have seen it, they mention that the best way to escape from such a snake is to cover yourself behind the trunk of a tree and, at the earliest opportunity, run uphill at full speed. An interesting point is that, in ancient cultures such as ancient Japan, references can be found to snakes whose method of attack is identical to the hoop snake. Also, in ancient Greece, we find references to a species very similar to the ring serpent, the Ouroboros, mythological beings that represent the infinite cycle of life and death. Number 1. The Dog Snake. On the morning of May 24, 1996, Shayla Charles was in her car to take her son Shane to school in California. They were passing through a rural area when a strange creature came across them. In an attempt to dodge it, Shayla lost control of the car and ended up falling off the side of the road over a small cliff. Fortunately, both Shayla and her son Shane got away with only a couple of scratches and bruises. But when they were asked what had happened, they said the following: It was a kind of dog, about a meter long with a very dense coat. But its head was like that of a snake, with the eyes of a reptile and a very thin neck. Also, it had no tail at all, and its front legs were long, while the hind legs were quite short. At first, it may seem crazy, but the story was corroborated when it was confirmed by the driver behind Sheila's car, who also saw the creature and had to maneuver to avoid hitting it. Zero Zone Mega Conda. We all know the anaconda snake, originally from the jungles of the Amazon. And despite what we see in horror movies, these snakes rarely exceed 36 feet in length. However, it is believed that there is a much larger and more dangerous variety of anaconda, the megaconda. According to sightings, the megaconda easily reaches 66 feet in length and a radius of practically 3 feet or more. But it is not only believed to live in the dark corners of the Amazon, but in some regions of Africa and North America. When European explorers reached the South American jungles, they claimed to have seen snakes of such magnitude. Similarly, in 1948, a group of Brazilian settlers captured a snake with an incredible length of 131 feet. The natives called it Maratoro because of the remains of a half-digested bull they supposedly found inside. Despite this incredible measure, many experts treat this case as true. They claim that under ideal conditions, such as the absence of predators, abundant food, and ample space, an anaconda can develop to such an immense size to become an authentic megaconda.